You are standing in the middle of a strange, primeval forest. The leaves around you are glowing, shimmering like fragments of memory stored inside the trunks of biological servers. As the ranger, your sacred duty involves guarding this eternal library against the ravages of time and nature. But today, a ferocious wildfire is sweeping in from the horizon, threatening to erase billions of encoded lives in a single instant. You hold the power to activate the emergency suppression system, yet you realize this ancient wood needs fire to clear the path for new growth. So, will your choice be to extinguish the flames to cling to the past, or will you let them burn everything down for an unformed future? Before we make this life or death decision, hit subscribe on What If to support the team's spirit for the next video. You tread lightly on the thick moss, feeling a hum of billions of memories flowing through the xylem of these ancient trees. Every trunk here is more than just plant life. They are massive biological servers, archiving human existence for 3 centuries. You stop before an old oak glowing with amber light, and deep within it, the mind of the 21st century's greatest pianist is revealed. Merely touching the rough bark, you can hear the unfinished sonata he composed during his final days. To your eyes, this forest is not just data, but the only proof that these people once existed, loved, and suffered. This sacred silence fosters a deep belief that protecting the past is the highest mission a ranger can shoulder. The canopies interlace so densely that sunlight rarely touches the ground, creating an eternal roof sheltering history. You have spent years of your youth tending to every leaf, ensuring that no memory file was ever corrupted or lost to the void. Suddenly, your thermal sensors scream with alarms, tearing right through the peaceful space of the old woods. A natural lightning strike has hit the north, triggering a savage fire that begins to lick at the data-filled trunks. You rush toward the hydraulic control center, your heart pounding at the thought of millions of smiles and tears about to be wiped out. Only one command dominates your mind: extinguish the fire at all costs to protect the ancestral legacy. It seems impossible to accept that masterpieces, last words, and historical secrets might turn into meaningless ash. Your trembling hands rest on the artificial rain lever, ready to drown the flames in the cool water of preservation. But the moment your finger touches the activation button, a scene below causes you to pause in stunned silence. Beneath the spreading, flickering light, weak saplings struggle to rise, only to die young due to the lack of light. For hundreds of years, these memory trees have grown too dense, stealing all nutrients and obscuring the sky for the next generation. It becomes a painful truth that this forest is actually a magnificent tomb where the dead are strangling the living. You realize that past data, while precious, remains completely static, incapable of growing or creating anything new for the world. That roaring fire is not an enemy, but an inevitable part of the ecological cycle designed to eliminate the obsolete. Extinguishing the fire now means these giants live another 1,000 years, but the ground remains forever barren and devoid of rebirth. Looking at the display screen, you see the flames beginning to consume memories of wars and hatreds from the last century. A cold question rings in your mind: does humanity really need to remember every pain to move forward? Storing too much baggage from the past has made the society outside stagnant, always looking back instead of stepping forward. The heat begins to flush against your face, not just from the fire, but from the pressure of a brutal moral decision. Warning systems constantly urge a water release, treating the fire as a system error, needing immediate correction. However, your eyes are glued to a small seed cracking open right at the fire's edge, waiting for ash to germinate. You find yourself standing between 2 currents, the conservative water of memory and the destructive fire of evolution. Hesitation tears at your soul while weighing reverence for the deceased against responsibility to the children of the future. Slowly, you withdraw your hand from the water lever. The action goes against every rule and oath of a ranger. Instead of saving the massive memory library, the decision is made to stand silent and watch the fire perform its cruel dance. Crackling sounds of burning trunks echo like the screams of billions of souls vanishing into the void. Glowing leaves shine brilliantly one last time before extinguishing, taking music, formulas, and words of love forever. Tears stream down your face, not from smoke, but from the pain of personally letting go of a civilization's legacy. Yet, amidst the black falling ash looking like snow, nutrients are being returned to the dry Mother Earth. This destruction is not an end, but a necessary space for new, unwritten stories to find a place to begin. You understand that the price of progress is oblivion, and sometimes we must have the courage to forget in order to learn how to live again. The fire sweeps through, leaving behind a vast and open sky that the forest has not seen for centuries. Sunlight of a new day begins to shine directly on the blackened ground, warming the seeds sleeping beneath the thick ash. You take a deep breath, inhaling the acrid smell of burning, which now carries the pungent scent of a primal beginning. No longer the guardian of past ghosts, your role has shifted to becoming the sower for an undefined future. This cruel decision today paves the way for a new forest, where trees will grow free without bearing the weight of the dead. The furious firestorm has finally passed, leaving behind a scarred, blackened land that secretly conceals abundant nutrients ready to fuel a powerful rebirth. Through this destruction, we come to realize that sometimes clutching too tightly onto old glories or lingering pains acts as a heavy chain, holding back our necessary steps forward. The great philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche once profoundly noted that to truly live happily, humans must possess the ability to forget just as much as they possess the ability to remember. If this video touches your thoughts and sparks a new perspective, hit subscribe on What If to join us in exploring even deeper, mind-bending hypotheses. In the realms of both economics and nature, this phenomenon is known as the law of creative destruction, dictating that the old structure must die to yield space to superior new orders. So, do not turn your memory into a closed, dusty museum of the past. Instead, let it become the rich sediment layer capable of nurturing the vibrant seeds of your current reality. You must understand that oblivion is not a cold betrayal of the past, but rather the bravest act you can perform to fully unleash the limitless potential of the future. And now, turning to you, is there any specific memory or deeply ingrained habit you know must be burned right now to truly restart your life? Please, share your story in the comments below.